Hello and welcome to our top three business tips of the day, or sales and marketing tips. Today I'm going to cover three tips on sales, field sales, general sales, um, meeting people and trying to get them interested in your product or service. So tip number one in sales is to be able to get on with people and put them at ease. You should have quite a wide knowledge of what's going on in the world and try and find some common ground, some common interests, some common subjects that you can sort of relate to each other with. With me, I'm a big sports fan, and often when I meet people, I'll find out what sports teams they like and what sport they're interested in, and that sort of thing. And often sport can be a good leveler with other sports fans in order to find some common ground and have some interesting conversations about non-business and work-related things, which can help build a relationship and get people to know, like, and trust you. And once they know, like, and trust you, they're more likely to do business with you. So my tip number one in sales is to have quite a wide variety of knowledge and interest, and in order to be able to find some common ground with people that you meet. It's just good when building relationships in any way, networking or friendships or relationships, family relationships, etc. It's always good to be able to find some common ground with whoever it is that you meet. So tip number two would be to always follow up from a sales meeting with a professional, well-written proposal, something that's gonna remind people of what it is that you talked about, what solution you are offering, and something that's gonna maybe create some urgency and come up with something that's bigger and better than what they've seen off other people, which is going to help them decide on whether you are offering the right product, the right service, or the right solution for their business or for their needs. So my tip number two would be to always follow up from a sales meeting with a good, well-written, professional proposal, which is going to help you to secure any business. And then tip number three, this is one of the most important tips, I think, in any sales job, any sales position, whether it be field sales, face-to-face sales, networking sales, exhibitions, markets, whatever. And tip number three would be to not be frightened to close the business or ask for the business. I meet a lot of people, especially in the UK, who can be a bit shy, a bit reserved, and can beat around the bush a little bit when asking people do they want to do business with them or not. When ultimately, the only way you can find out whether somebody wants to proceed or whether somebody wants to go ahead with your product or service is by actually asking them. So there's lots of closing techniques in order to be able to get people to say yes to an order. There's alternative closes, and there's like urgency closes, offers. There's all sorts of different closing techniques. But one of the best ways to ask if people want to proceed is just by asking them, so don't be frightened to ask people, is this something that you would like to go ahead with? Or is there any reason why we couldn't get this set up now? And draw from them some objections, because ultimately, if they haven't said yes to your product or your service, then they're not quite sure whether it's for them. So you need to be able to draw that out of them and find out, okay, what is it that's preventing them go ahead as well. So, ultimately asking them, can we get this set up now? Could we go ahead with it? Would you like to go ahead? Is there any reason why you wouldn't want to go ahead? Asking these sort of questions is going to get to the root of the issue, if there is a reason why they don't want to go ahead, or it's going to get them to actually be able to commit and say, yes, okay, let's go for it. So don't be frightened of asking whether somebody wants your product or service. So many people I've sort of managed and trained and dealt with over the years who are just frightened to ask people, and ultimately, if you don't ask, you don't get. So just don't be frightened to ask people if they'd like to go ahead. And that's my top 3 tips on sales for today. Please follow me on my YouTube channel for more top 3 tips on a daily basis to do with sales and marketing. Thanks very much, and enjoy the rest of your day. Cheers. Bye-bye.